Hey guys, so yes, I have finally finished the first two seasons of Signature D. I thought I'd talk about it briefly. This is a show that focuses on automobiles, automobile cars, and it basically deals with a particular model. And the show basically follows the story of a street racer, kind of a reluctant one, and it's kind of got some time-honored shonen plots. It also has a love interest if you're into that, though development with that is incredibly slow. I mean, almost you'll get one or two big events within a season where they'll focus, 10 minutes on relationships. The first season and second season are very different. The first season's more about relationships, and it definitely has a importance that does not get across or doesn't play as much of an impact in the second season. The first season also has slightly different animation, though not significantly. Yeah, they basically tweak it a little bit. Frankly, the tweaks don't harm the show. Most of the animation remains pretty much the same. And I don't think it's that big of a deal, though some people evidently do. The voice cast is decent. This is a very early 90s anime, so if you're expecting real badass animation, modern animation, you're not going to get it, but you will get 3D, or quasi 3D, which is kind of cool. And all the cars are like that. They also talk a lot about actual technicals with cars, which I thought was incredible for an anime, to break down racing tactics and the such. It's not Speed Racer, let's put it that way. It's an interesting show, though I think, how do I put this? It's a very early 90s show. It definitely feel the time period. One of my favorite things about the show is the music. The music is so retro in a sense that I just loved it. But having said that, a lot of people probably would be like, it's kind of hit or miss. If you grew up kind of in 80s, 90s, the weird Japanese, seemingly old music is actually kind of entertaining. Just because it's so old and it's like, I don't know, I can't describe it properly. Frankly, I think that the one problem this show has is the amount of time. The pace isn't exactly right. The first season's a lot better with pace. I really like that first season a lot better than the second season. But the first season had about the right pace you want for, there's a race, then there's build up for the race, and then there's another race. In the second season, you get the feeling like they got a lot of requests for a lot more racing. And what ended up happening is they ended up basically just throwing in a bunch more pointless races. Well, that's great, but at the same time, it kind of took away from the overall plot development that's necessary to really make those races mean anything. I think that the other thing that I'll mention is that if you are older and you like cars, this is probably the anime I'd recommend. In a lot of ways, the morality that's set in this show is almost like 50s America. It's really interesting. Kind of mind-blowing, really. I mean, it's like, I could picture people in this show and the cars just all being Cadillacs, and this could be, an American show, back in the 50s. Maybe not animated, but I guess it could theoretically be animated, but it'd probably be people racing. And maybe they wouldn't go into so much detail with the technical parts, but this could be like a TV show in America back then. It just kind of has that feel, kind of, I don't know. It's hard to describe. There's a couple really awkward moments in the series too. I don't want to give them away. I won't give them away, but you'll know them when you hear them. Also, I think the female characters are interesting because they don't seem properly drawn out in a sense. Though, I'm only 2 seasons into this. This is kind of an early review of a series that's at least got... I'm not even halfway done with it. I just thought I'd I should talk about it because I'll probably be watching this for the next like 3 months. But without going into too much more detail, it's definitely worth a look if you're into shonen that aren't just fighting. If you're into, Slam Dunk, for example, this might be something to look into. But I'm not usually a big fan of those. Frankly, I read some Slam Dunk. I was not a fan of it. Or Prince of Tennis. Not really. Though the anime intro to Prince of Tennis, amazing. At least the one that used to be shown on, I think it was Toonami even back then. It was a long time ago. But I don't want that. That's not here nor there. That's a whole nother show. But this series, I guess my point is that this series kind of stands out. Just because it doesn't fall into necessarily the same stereotypes, at least as much that other shonen do. There's kind of shonen stereotypes, and definitely Slam Dunk does that, in my opinion. But anyway, you can subscribe, comment, rate. If I was going to give this show a ranking, I give it 3 out of 5, which doesn't sound great, but for a car shonen, that's pretty high for me. I have to tell you, I can't think of another shonen dealing with automobiles that would get that high. I guess they were raised, I don't know, I was going to make a bad pun, but I don't think I will. Anyway, once again, subscribe, comment, rate. Have a great day. That's it. Bye.